My question is to the Minister representing the Minister for Child Protection, and it is about another set of unintended consequences associated with the government's coronavirus response. Specifically, I refer to the very serious problem that the traditional arrangements allowing for face-to-face contact between children in state care and their parents has been terminated since March. Minister, could you please clarify whether, and if so when, the government will respond to the increasing pleas of many parents and other relevant child protection stakeholders for at least a 6-month extension to be made to Victoria's normal 2-year-long reunification process?
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you. I thank the member for her question, and I acknowledge her interest in issues that are very dear to my heart as well, and they relate to how we continue to provide support to vulnerable families in our community and make sure children who may be at risk continue to be protected. Look, the pandemic has proved very challenging for how the department responds and supports vulnerable families in these circumstances, and I acknowledge the work that Minister Dinellan, as the responsible minister, has been doing, working with community sector organisations to put processes in place to facilitate safe access, safe visits between parents and their children when they're placed in out-of-home care. I know that there have been some additional resources that have been allocated to this task. I am aware that additional video conferencing, for example, has been put in place to enable parents to have contact with their children as per the case management orders that may have been put in place by the Children's Court. But in terms of the specifics that the member has asked, which is around the clock ticking for the permanency orders, I will seek some further information from Minister Dinellan as the responsible minister, and I'd be happy to provide the member with that additional information in due course.
Thank you. Ms Maxwell on supplementary.
Thank you, President, and thank you, Minister, for that response and for them passing that on. In a report on these issues in The Age newspaper on the 9th of August, journalist Michael Fowler cited a variety of problems associated with DHHS's attempts during the COVID period to manage the new administrative arrangements associated with the reunification. Minister, could you outline what specific actions DHHS has taken since March in order to afford parents the opportunity to continue to adequately prove that they have the capacity to safely and effectively resume caring for their child with relevant supports being implemented, any other than you have obviously just provided previously?
Minister.
Thank you, and in the very short time available to me, I can indicate to the member that Minister Dinellan back in April announced an additional $77.5 million over the next 2 years to support some of the state's most at-risk children. The package included $46.2 million to increase the capacity of family services to provide outreach to the most vulnerable Victorian families with children at risk of entering state care. Under the model of care that was developed, specialist family services teams comprising of staff from service providers and child protection provide intensive support to families to ensure that they get access to those services as quickly as possible. There was a further $11.4 million in there to provide support to our carers, including a dedicated carer support phone line and a one-off payment of $600 to all foster and kinship carers for each child in their care. In addition to that, there was some further supports there for residential care, ensuring cleaning and other measures were put in place. But I'm happy to seek any additional information that Minister Dinellan may be able to provide to the member.